guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
Anything like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors, except no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record. For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Monday, the second day of November 2020. U.S. went into daylight savings time on Saturday night. So we're basically, some states we're on the same time as the Cayman Islands. So you want to bear that in mind as well. And of course, tomorrow, U.S. elections for president, for the House of Representatives, the Senate as well, and probably local elections for judgeships and all those other things will be taking place tomorrow. So I'm sure that everyone is waiting in anticipation to see what the results of those elections will be as well. Right here in the Cayman Islands, I hope and I trust that everyone had a peaceful, restful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads, we urge you to be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road and remember that the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you celebrated one over the weekend, a belated happy birthday as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times. Those of you who are experiencing illnesses, we want to wish for you, whether you're at home or if you're hospitalized, we want to wish for you a speedy recovery as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and the management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. We have back with us that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord@candaw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And if you just simply want to follow us on YouTube, you do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning members of the leadership of the Cayman Islands Fire Service. It is my pleasure to have in the studio Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Administration, Ms. Tina Ebanks. Ms. Ebanks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
And also with us, Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Aviation, Mr. Brevin Elliott. Mr. Elliott, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
And Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Domestic Services, Mr. Roy Charlton. Mr. Charlton, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Okay. We're going to be talking about fire service this morning. I want to say to our listening audience that we will have our phone lines open as well. We want you to restrict your conversation while we have our guest in the studio to the topic at hand, because that is what they're experts in, and they will talk to you about that. Two of the topics, the main topics that we will be talking about this morning: celebrating safety, fire safety tips during the festive season, and those festive seasons are coming up fairly quickly. We just had Halloween. We're going to end up with Thanksgiving, which, while it's maybe an American holiday, we celebrate it here in Cayman as well, and we have our own Cayman Thanksgiving. We will also be talking about celebrating success in the fire service and the Cayman Islands Fire Service's journey to being the best in the region as well. So, we're going to start the conversation off, and I'm going to throw the mic over to the Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Domestic Services, Mr. Charlton. Mr. Charlton, over to you, sir.
Good morning again, all. Just want to say thanks for having us this morning. And in regards to our road safety campaign that we've been in conjunction with RCIPS, we just want to remind all people that's using the road, speeding. There's nowhere on this island that you have to drive in such a hurry to get anywhere. So, we're just encouraging you in this festive season to really slow down and take your time to get to wherever your destination is. One of the big issues we have found also is distracted while you're driving. We know that the mobile usage while driving now is at an all-time high, and we want to discourage that while you're driving, you pay due care and attention on the roads, and put your cell phones down until you reach your destination. Always be aware of cyclists on the roads as well. We've seen a lot of accidents in regards to that, where people being distracted, speeding, and not being aware of cyclists using the roads. We have cycle paths on the bypass, and even in the center of town now we have areas that show you where the cyclists lanes and direction that they should be riding. So we want you to pay attention to that. And of course, the big thing for the festive season is driving under the influence. We want to discourage that as much as possible. We know that there are entities out there who put in drivers who will pick you up from your destination and take you wherever you want to go. We encourage you to use those. Driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs can be detrimental, and we want to keep our festive season. I think we've had enough bad stuff for 2020, and we want to keep our roads safe during this festive season.
Okay. Anyone wants to add anything to that? Ms. Ebanks, Mr. Elliott?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning again.
And thank you again for having us from the fire service come online and speak about the safety during the festive season. And one of the areas I'd like to touch on is fireworks safety. And once fireworks are lit, we're asking people never to return back to the fireworks site. And there's a specified time in the code that speaks to the length of time. Never put fireworks in your pocket. Always keep water and a fire extinguisher near the site of the fireworks. And once you have approval from the fire service to shoot fireworks, which will entail putting in an application to the fire service and having liability insurance, which will also include the fire safety team coming out to the site, inspecting the site, and also it would go through the aviation section for approval, which Mr. Elliott can touch bases on that section because he's aviation.
And this is for commercial use. What if a person is just going to be lighting off fireworks in their yard, just the normal type of fireworks, or are we talking about the pyrotechnics?
That was for pyrotechnics, the commercial grade. For consumer grade fireworks, I would say the same safety precautions. I would endeavor to have people take those measures into account to ensure that there's no fire discharge of fireworks near their property, near vehicles, near bush, in the event that some of them, and depends on the wind direction, you place them in a safe area for setting them off.
Okay. Mr. Elliott?
Good morning again, Mr. Conner.
Good morning.
Just to elaborate a little more on what Ms. Ebanks is stating in regards to fireworks, when it comes from the aviation perspective, the consumer grade fireworks that are being imported, which right now in Ireland, I think we only have about 2 companies that do that, but other smaller companies is expanding their services. We just basically want to ensure that they follow the necessary protocols and get the required documents, which one of the main requirements would be for them to reach out to the Civil Aviation Authority and seek approval once they're considering to use commercial grade fireworks. Like I said, there's 2 companies. We have not had no issues with them in the past, and we appreciate that they follow the protocols that we implement. So for those other companies who intend to venture in that field, we are open at the fire department for recommendations and guidance. So if you intend to, just give us a call and we'll be able to assist you and point you in the right direction to getting the relevant information.
Okay. Mr. Charlton?
Yeah, also in regards to fireworks at home, I think one of the main key things is for kids not to be left unattended using fireworks, and always have some sort of adult supervision around whenever, no matter how small it may be, and following the instruction on the packages. I mean, as kids, you always find kids trying to do the impossible with fireworks at home because they want to create more fun with it. But, they have to realize that the dangers of it is that, it can be fatal, it can be deadly, it can cause a lifelong injury. So we encourage them not to encourage to use the fireworks by themselves. Always have some sort of adult supervision at home and always follow the directions on the packages.
Okay. What about storage at home as well, for those non-commercial entities, for the families that would purchase locally or otherwise?
It's always good to store in a safe, dry area and out of the reach of kids. Kids will always get into trouble seeing things and want trouble. But I encourage them, if parents are, always to have that adult supervision. If parents are going to buy fireworks, always store them in a safe, out of reach area that kids, don't have them. It's always best not to let the kids know that you actually do have them in the house, to be honest, because they're always going to want to be adventurous and find where the fireworks are. So I would suggest that we store them out of the reach of kids until time to use.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I want you to think about this during the commercial break, and you can advise our listeners to that as well. In terms of importation for non-commercial purposes, whether or not individuals can import their own fireworks, and if they do, what are the procedures and protocols to be followed? Folks, please stay tuned for the record with Deputy Chief Fire Officer Mr. Roy Charlton, Deputy Chief Fire Officer Mr. Brevin Elliott, and Deputy Chief Fire Officer Ms. Tina Ebanks will continue after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Grand Cayman's road system, a seemingly constant work in progress, saw significant development during the tenure of Commissioner George Stephenson Hurst in the early 1900s. Elgin Avenue, named after the British colonial secretary, saw the arrival of a police station, public works depot, and the new government house. Along with Elgin Avenue, Hurst laid out Mary Street, and a drivable road from Georgetown was constructed the length of 7 miles to West Bay, with a separate extension to Badabanu. Shedden Road was named after the previous commissioner, Friedrich Shedden Sanangwetti, and was resurfaced, widened, and extended through the swampy interior to Boddentown. This new extension was called Crewe Road, after Elgin's British colonial secretary's successor, the Earl of Crewe. The road to Boddentown also included an offshoot extension from Savannah to Newlands. The Cayman Islands' first ever recorded sporting event, a bicycle race, would take place on Boxing Day 1909 on the new highway from Georgetown to Boddentown.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like a whole glass of swanky on a hot Cayman Brack day. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary Ticket Sellers, EventPro.ky, Funky Tans, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabirds Bar, Eastern Avenue, Tashara Lewis in Cayman Brack. Get your golden tickets. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. A Music Extravaganza 2020. Building bus shelters throughout the Cayman Islands, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Rotary opens opportunity.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Brandt Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Brandt Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288. Green Turtle, modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
No, man. My bills seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I can look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold lunch straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
System 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning 3 deputies from the Cayman Islands Fire Service. We're first talking about celebrating safety, fire safety tips during the festive season. And as you know, that there will be lots of festivities between now and January when we'll have the ultimate one, New Year's celebration as well. We're going to talk a little bit about the importation and more so in the area of commercial importation. Folks, who wants to take a mic?
Hi, good morning. Tina here, Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Administration with oversight of fire safety. Speaking on the importation of commercial grade fireworks, which is governed by NRA. So the importation for the commercial grade firework, an application needs to be made to them directly. And we oversee only the setting up and the explosion of the fireworks. So we check the site for safety and distance, and we have the domestic fire crew on scene in the event of an emergency. But if you need to do an import permit, you would go through NRA, National Roads Authority.
Excellent. Now, the fact that we are an island surrounded by water, and most of the many of the fireworks that are done commercially are done offshore, does that make life for you in the fire service any much easier?
Yes, it does. Once it's offshore, it's normally offshore at 200 yards, and at that time, more than likely, depending on wind direction, you wouldn't need the fire service to stand by. But depends on the wind direction coming into island, we would still send one of the trucks just as a safety precaution if embers would blow in. But when it's offshore, it's a plus.
Okay, and I believe that there is some coordination also with civil aviation in terms of approaching aircraft as well, depending on what part of the island, or it doesn't matter what part of the island that they're being discharged.
You're quite correct. That comes to what I was speaking on earlier. Anyone that would be utilizing commercial grade fireworks would have to go through the Civil Aviation Authority to get permission wherever it is located on the island, because it's anticipated that the loads of those shots would go into surrounding aircraft passing, depending on the height and altitude, maybe on approach or departure. So that is one of the main reasons why they have to seek permission.
Okay, and anything else on importation that we haven't covered?
No, nothing else.
Okay, what we can do, we still have about 3 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. We can certainly talk about the fire service itself and the journey that the fire service has been taken. And we've seen that over the past 3 years, the Cayman Islands Fire Service has made significant progress in transforming the service to a world-class standard with the acquisition of state-of-the-art equipment, vehicles, along also with your focus on the professional development of your fire officers at all levels, and having a much greater unified team as well. Let's talk a little bit about the acquisition of equipment. Are you up to speed with the equipment, the new technologies, and everything else? We have about 3 minutes before we go to a break.
Sure, I would be glad to share some information on that. But recently, the public now have seen in the media that we have received some new Oshkosh 6x6 Strikers, which are actually aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicles that is designed for aircraft rescue and firefighting. It comes with some of the latest technology when it comes to firefighting capabilities in terms of quicker response time, in terms of dispensing of media. But in a nutshell, they all basically have to comply to a standard. Right now, we're utilizing the NFP standards that are built to the American standard specification that also coincide with the UK standards, because they go par and par with those specs.
Okay.
These new trucks that we have on station as we speak, they got sophistication in terms of CCTV, infrared cameras that will allow us to utilize the infrared in the night to pick up hotspots on the aircraft or even in the day. We also have rapid deployment holes on these vehicles that reduce the number of staff that is needed to actually deploy them. In addition, gantry systems that we would take normally 2 to 3 officers to deploy a ladder. It's just now a switch of the button and boom, the ladder comes down. Wow. Also, for a quick response, we have an external start button on the truck, rapid start, which the officers don't have to get into the truck to start the vehicle. For it to do its pre-check, they can simply press the button while they rig in their PPE. We're ready to respond to an incident. By that time, the truck will run her diagnostics and check and identify if there's any issues. Also, one of the latest technologies that are on the market that we were prepared to actually get for these trucks when we went to the pre-construction is an actually onboard foam testing technology which tests the quality of our foam because it has to meet a certain standard and it has a certain lifespan on it. So if exposed to heat and various temperatures, it may deteriorate. So now instead of us have to do practical tests once a year, we can simply press a button, just check the quality of the foam and let us know if it's good, if it meets the requirements.
Okay, thank you very much for that, folks. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return the conversation with Deputy Chief Fire Officer Mr. Roy Charlton, Deputy Chief Fire Officer Mr. Brevin Elliott, and Deputy Chief Fire Officer Ms. Tina Ebanks will continue. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor, and studio time by Foster's is 7:59.
I'm looking for the perfect holiday gift, something that everyone will love.
Well, the holiday season is all about food, so what about free groceries?
Yeah, I want free groceries.
Well, with a Foster's card, you can load any dollar amount and shop at all Foster's supermarket and Price Right locations. Plus, you can easily reload your Foster's card.
Great, that's my present sorted. Pick up your Foster's cards in store or online at fosters.ky and give the gift of free groceries this holiday season. Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Did you know that between May and August 31st, in support of the COVID-19 Emergency Withdrawal Program, the Chamber Pension Plan leveraged IT and human resources to successfully review over 16,000 member applications, approve over 12,000 applications, and paid over CI $130 million to our plan members. We are the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, and we're here for you. For further information regarding the Emergency Withdrawal Program, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky. Or call 745-7630.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Parsley Fuller. Lawmakers are expected to wrap up legislative proceedings today, completing the agenda of the current session. And with the close of today's business, Cayman will mark the end of an era. It will be the last time the House will sit as Legislative Assembly. The next time they will be as members of Parliament. This is because it will be after the recent constitutional amendments are approved by the Privy Council. The traditional Remembrance Day ceremony has been canceled in Grand Cayman due to COVID-19. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The Cayman Islands Protocol Office says the risks of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic to our elderly and vulnerable veterans, as well as other attendees, has led to the cancellation of the annual Remembrance Sunday Parade and ceremony, at least on Grand Cayman. Chief of Protocol Melanie Sims says the decision was taken by the Cayman Islands Veterans Association, and they encourage the public to still give to the Poppy Appeal, which raises funds to help with medical expenses for our veterans. Cayman Brac officials, in consultation with the Veterans and Seamen Society of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, have decided, though, to proceed with their ceremony on Sunday, November 8th. Those attending the Brac ceremony are asked to assemble by 10:30 a.m. on the lawn of the District Administration Building, or in the case of inclement weather, the Aston Ready Center. For those unable to attend the Brac ceremony, the Protocol Office has organized remote and socially distanced ways to still honor our veterans, which include a 1-hour televised special to air on the 8th of November on CIGTV and its YouTube channel. The community is also invited to lay wreaths reverently throughout the day at the cenotaph inside the Elmsley Memorial United Church on Harbor Drive in Georgetown, starting at 11:30 a.m. However, social distancing measures must be in place. You are also encouraged to pause for the 2-minute silence at home or in the workplace at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, the 11th of November. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
And the Cayman Islands government launches a cybersecurity public education campaign. Radio Cayman's Dion Island reports.
The campaign is called Better Cyber Safe Than Sorry, an initiative of the Office of Cyber and Information Security in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. The public education campaign is designed to create awareness and educate people of all ages about the importance of cybersecurity. Target groups include children and adolescents, parents, older people, and small businesses. Officials say the campaign focuses on good online practices and strategies to prevent cybercrimes, such as phishing, email scams, social media impersonation, bank fraud, cyberbullying, and online exploitation. You can find out more on the government's new microsite, www.gov.ky/cybersafe. That's www.gov.ky/cybersafe. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Dion Anglin.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Parsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith.
Militants have stormed Kabul University, where a gun battle is continuing. At least 6 people are said to have been injured. The attack by 3 gunmen in police uniforms began as senior officials were due to arrive for the opening of a book fair. The US actor Johnny Depp has lost his libel case against the British Sun newspaper. It had alleged he'd behaved violently towards his former wife Amber Heard. The paper said the case showed that the victims of domestic abuse shouldn't be silenced. Rescue crews have pulled out a 3-year-old girl from the rubble of a building that collapsed during Friday's earthquake in the Turkish city of Izmir. The efforts to find survivors are continuing. French schools have observed a minute's silence for the teacher killed by an Islamist militant. He had shown cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad during a lesson on free speech. Drugs worth almost $40 million have been seized by customs officials in Hong Kong. The methamphetamines have been hidden inside bags of cement. Researchers say they've been able to identify some of the disorders the Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh suffered from. They believe he experienced delirium caused by alcohol withdrawal, followed by severe depressive episodes from which he never recovered. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email at min@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Over 60 years ago, we started as an insurance company to put people first. Today, with all of the challenges our world is facing, that mission has never been more important. Britgay is now CG Britgay. And though our name has changed, our purpose hasn't. We're still the same people-first company we've always been. And we're here for you, stronger than ever. CG Britgay.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like a hold the glass of swanky on a hot coming brack day. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary Ticket Sellers, EventPro.ky, Funky Tangs, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabirds Bar, Eastern Avenue, Tashara Lewis in Kemmebrack. Get your golden tickets. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. The Music Extravaganza 2020. Building bus shelters throughout Cayman Islands, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Rotary opens opportunity.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Staying focused on your long-term goals is crucial.
As motivational speaker and author Mel Robbins said in her book titled The 5-Second Rule, it's a numbers game. To play any game, you have to start. To win, you need to keep going. If you want to make your dreams come true, get ready for the long game. Life is not a one-and-done sort of deal. You've got to work for what you want. Life is gritty and hard, and then suddenly it's brilliant and amazing.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees, relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure is 29.83 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 15 knots. Overnight low temperature was 81 degrees. Synopsis indicated increase in cloudiness and showers, along with moderate to fresh winds and rough seas expected across the Cayman area over the next few days in association with the movement of Hurricane Eta as it continues toward northeast Nicaragua. Radar images show scattered showers in and around the Cayman area, which are moving towards the west to southwest. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida is issuing advisories on Hurricane Eta, which at last check was located 14.8 north, 81.1 west. It's about 310 miles south of Grand Cayman, with maximum winds of 90 miles per hour, and is moving west at 10 miles per hour. The Cayman Islands National Weather Service will continue to monitor the progress of the system. If you need further details, you can visit www.nhc.noaa.gov. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of morning showers and some thunder. And temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Your winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts in and around heavy showers. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet with higher swells, especially on the east and southerly exposed coast. A small craft warning is in effect for today and tonight as well. Now the forecast for tonight calling for cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers and some thunder, and showers will be locally heavy at times, and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts in and around heavy showers, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet with higher swells, especially on the east and southerly exposed coast for tonight as well. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:38, low tide this afternoon at 4:28, and a high tide again tonight at 9:25. The sun will set this evening at 5:50 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:28. And the outlook through Wednesday morning is calling for cloudy, rainy conditions and continued fresh to strong east to northeast winds and rough seas associated with the movement of Hurricane Eta towards northeast Nicaragua. Heavy rainfall will increase the risk of flooding in low-lying areas from tomorrow afternoon. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look what's happening on the roads. Heavy traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway. Coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, traffic is busy. Steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, and moderate flow of traffic on Easton Avenue as well as on Godfrey Dixon Way. And traffic is moderate in both directions to and from the Westway 4-way stop. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. In the vicinity of the CB roundabout, traffic steady. If you see any accidents or incidents happening on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman 949-6990. And traffic flowing moderately on North Side Road.
It's the return of the sub of the day. Come into any Subway location and order the 6-inch sub of the day for only $3.50, or get the full meal for just $6.
Wow, a meal in Cayman for only $6?
Yes, and it's never been easier to get your favorites from Subway. Just stop in, message WhatsApp at 929-4658, order online, or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. Check out their Facebook or Instagram for the latest store hours. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Gather your mateys and rev your engines for a chance to win $4,000 cash. Participate in the first ever Find the Booty Pirates Week scavenger hunt, Monday, November 9th. Scour the island districts for clues, challenges, and much more. Teams of 4 with 1 car are allowed to enter the Find Your Booty Pirates Week scavenger hunt. Only $100 entry fee per team. Get your tickets from eventpro.ky. For more details, email events@piratesweekfestival.com. Sponsored by
Radio Cayman.
What a great spot for lunch. I haven't been here in ages.
I saw it on Experience Cayman.
What's that?
It's a free online festival showcasing all the great things to do in Cayman.
Oh, that's so cool. I'll check it out for sure. Now, what are we having for lunch?
Experience Cayman is a celebration of everything local. To rediscover all the best things to see and do in Cayman Islands, visit gov.ky/Experience Cayman and follow Experience Cayman on Facebook and Instagram. Brought to you by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Chief Fire Officer for Administration, Ms. Tina Ibines, Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Aviation, Mr. Brevin Elliott, and Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Domestic Services, Mr. Roy Charlton as well. And we're talking about celebrating safety, fire safety tips during the festive season. And we're also going to be talking about and discussing celebrating success at the fire services, the Cayman Islands Fire Services journey to being the best in the region. And part of being the best in the region involves having the best equipment in the region as well. And we heard Mr. Elliott talk about some of the new equipment that they now have in their possession as well. I believe we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Osi. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sir Lord. How are you?
I'm good. And good morning to those three very rounded, intelligent officers that you have on there. It's so nice to have people in those positions that we know who their mama is. They haven't been happening lately.
Yep.
That is so nice. Yes, good morning. Charleston, Brevard, and my almost neighbor, Tina. Good
morning. Morning, Mr. Rankin.
Yeah. I heard you all talking about the restrictions. You know, aviation got restriction in place where anything over 60 feet, especially within the 3-mile radius of the airport, they have to seek this permission, approval. Now, as you guys know, we have some very, very advanced consumer product out there. We got something that is being sold mostly locally called a Shona box. Goes up to 2-inch. As you know, that will travel a maximum of 146, I think, feet. And that's way about the required 60 feet. And I know a lot of people use that on the 7-mile beach. But I think that in itself would be very difficult to police. All right, well, I don't know what you guys will have in place to police that, especially on New Year's night. The 7-mile beach lights up to the wee hours of the morning. So I was wondering, you know, how that would be policed on a night like that. And then there's often times when people will call me and ask me if I had a show. And I'll say no, you know, it's because they purchase this stuff and they just let it off as up down somewhere, or sometimes people do it in their backyard, which travels, you know, like I say, up to 146 feet. So I always wonder how, even though we got a restriction in place, but how would you police something like 7-mile beach straight up to Morris Steptuga? I know those go on a night like that.
Caller, question for you. Are those persons allowed to import that on their own without a license?
No, they don't actually. The users don't actually import it.
Okay.
They just buy it locally.
Mm-hmm.
They buy it locally, yeah. They buy it locally.
Mm-hmm. So do you believe that there should be, since there's a height limit within that 3-mile radius of the airport, do you believe that it should be, what is sold on island should be restricted to that height restriction as well?
Well, I can't be no hypocrite on that, because I also is against the civil aviation forcing me to pay $300 every time I have a show because it's over 60 feet. Because in Miami, I shoot in Miami, and I don't have to get approval on the 500 feet. Anything over 500 feet, you get an approval for civil aviation, and then you don't pay. But here, anything that I do within that 300 feet, I have to pay. And even if I shoot outside the 300 feet radius, I still inform them, and I also call the air traffic. I'm on record there calling anything that I do, even though I get a written approval and pay my fee for a specific time and digital location I got to give. I still have to call this air traffic. I still have to call air traffic control between 5 and 15 minutes. Like they usually say 15 minutes before I activate the show.
Okay, we're going to have Mr. Elliott respond.
Okay, Mr. Rankin, to your point in regards of policing the consumer product that you were referencing to, I know several years ago we started a campaign and speaking to the retail stores that were bringing in these products in terms of educating them as to what the requirements are. So some of the problems that we were facing is the specs on the fireworks that they were bringing in, say for example, out of China or Japan or somewhere, was very basic in terms of what their capacities were. So in terms of that, we need to go back to them and have a discussion along with NRA to actually stipulate the requirements and then force them to be able to police it. Outside of that, if they're bringing a product in and we can't identify the size shots or shells, there's really nothing that we can do at that stage, but the NRA would have to impose that to say, hey, what, we need the specifications for these specs, for these fireworks that you're bringing in. The commercial grade fireworks has criteria that they have to meet, so that will be the way forward for us to have that conversation, that dialogue with them, to be able to educate them as to what is expected.
Yeah, I think that would also be pretty difficult too, because as you know, it's more seal up. If it's like a bomb, you're just familiar with the well, we make reference to them as a cake.
Yeah.
You know, it comes all seal up and you wouldn't be able to really tell, you know?
Yeah, that is a problem you're having. But what I'm saying, if they're going to purchase that from the factory, they should have those specifications accompany that package so that we know what it is. So in terms of that, in importation, for example, I mean, they're just getting charged on important fireworks, but what type of fireworks are they importing should be basically dependent. That should dictate the charge on that importation as well.
And then also, a lot of the fireworks that are coming out of China are not specific from the stuff, and it's not really that great because it's not. You can light it, hoping to do something, and do something else.
That's
because true. It's not a high grade, good quality fireworks. That's why China have just shut down most of the factories in China. There's only 5 factories in China now that can manufacture fireworks. 5 that is regulated. It's only regulated 5 in the whole entire China because of all the explosion they've been having. You know, most of the factories is located in poor areas. The last one burned down like 7 different what we call blocks. So now they're all regulated, and there's only 5. So So even that in itself now to do a lot of things like driving prices and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that is basically what's happening with triangle. So I hope we get a better quality for the kids to play with, because that's why the kids get all burned up. Because they're supposed to do something else and pop in the air to come back down and it drops. They're not supposed to drop or something. Yeah.
Okay. Lord Graham, well, thank you very much for that. We want to grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
I'm just calling. Just wanted to sort of throw in my little 2 cents here. As far as about these fireworks that kind of go beyond the normal 6-foot range, I was kind of thinking that maybe for the sellers, it could be something where they're only allowed to sell them, like say maybe at a public beach area, and then the buyers are not allowed to leave from there, and they're to be used in that location. I mean that's not going to stop the range fight, but at least the policing part of it, they would be able to say, well, these real powerful ones are only used in this area. It's not like you can go and buy them and take them here, there, or in a part of the island. You'll only be allowed to use them in that area. Just want to throw that in.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Anyone want to comment on that? The last caller.
Yes, sir. We need to also take into account the liability issues for injuries. So the licensed companies, they have to provide liability insurance. So we don't allow any individual other than a licensed company to shoot the fireworks due to injury or property damage. So the limitation is not the only issue. It's the damage it may cause to property or an individual.
Okay. Now, Ms. Tina, while you have the mic, I know you want to talk about bonfires and things of that nature as well.
Yes, sir. For the bonfires, we know at Christmas time and New Year's, there's a lot of bonfires that'll be set up throughout, and we just need to look at safety for that also. And we need to, the fire service doesn't approve bonfires. In order to get a bonfire approval, you'll have to go through the Department of Environmental Health.
Okay.
They can be contacted via telephone on 949-6696 or via email at deh@customerservice@gov.ky to make that application. And some of the guidelines set out, they've asked that you build a bonfire no more than 4 feet by 4 feet. It should be on a metal base. The bonfire shouldn't generate smoke in quantities that would become a nuisance to the neighbors, and it should be supervised at all times with standby extinguishers. Once they have given approval, then the approval is sent to the fire department, and the fire safety team will inspect the property to ensure that there's no material in the area. It's a safe area set up for the bonfire. And would recommend that once you've completed the bonfire and leaving, make sure to clean up after yourself, make sure it's fully extinguished, and maintain for the persons that are going to be there, that they maintain a safe distance from the bonfire.
Okay, we're going to take another commercial break. One of our listeners has wanted to know about the height of buildings in the Cayman Islands now that we have gone to 10-story, and the possibility at some point in time of increasing beyond 10 stories. How will the Cayman Islands Fire Service be able to deal with those additional challenges? We will ask you to respond to that when we return from this commercial break. So please, folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panzer engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior, an 8-inch touchscreen, SIM3 technology, and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Van't Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Van't Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value integrity. Ropers also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. 122 Industrial Way, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers and stay prepared. 949-2511. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have 2 questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorset Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Cayman kind.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
System 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have in the studio with us this morning the leadership of the Cayman Islands Fire Service, Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Domestic, Mr. Roy Charlton, Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Aviation, Mr. Bevan Elliott, and Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Administration, Ms. Tina Ibanksa. Before we went to the commercial break, we had that question from one of our listeners in writing asking about the challenges that the fire service will face with tall buildings being erected in the Cayman Islands. Mr. Charlton, you going to respond to that? Or, Ms. Tina?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, good morning again. Speaking on the high-rise buildings and our capacity to reach the higher floors, we have a ladder truck that reaches midway. It has a 100-foot ladder, but it probably reaches like the 5th or 6th floor, depending on the pitch and how far it is away from the building. But in the buildings now, because there's a stricter building code, we have, and the fire prevention code, which is gazetted in the fire brigade law, we have there's specifications that need to be met and more stringent for high-rise buildings. So there's the early notification system, which is the fire alarm system, and in high-rise buildings, it's also voice audio recorded messages. That's for early notification for persons to start to egress from the building. There's also a sprinkler system that has to be in place. You have to adhere to specific egress requirements. You have standpipe systems, smoke detectors, and we have the capacity to connect our trucks, domestic trucks, into the standpipe systems, our fire department connections on the outside of the building to supply water throughout the building, and various communication aspects also in the building. And you have extinguishers throughout buildings coming with carbon monoxide detectors also for early detection. Persons can egress. We have wet standpipe systems, dry standpipe systems. So it's in all, we are building the buildings safer, putting in more protection features so that fires can be early detected and contained to specific instead of a full onset of full engulfed building fire. I'd turn it over to Domestic Chief Fire Officer Roy Charlton that can speak in detail to the response of the domestic group.
Certainly, Mr. Charlton.
Yeah, just to add to what Ms. Banks said, and one of the things that we're working on now as well, we recognize that, is our manning levels and what it takes to really fight a full engulf high-rise building. The numbers, are great, and over the years we've been down by our numbers. So that's one of the recruitment processes that we're going through now, is building those numbers up for a safe system of work, not only for high-rise building, but for any structure on the island, and keeping our firefighters safe. And I mean, Ms. Banks touched on a lot of stuff that goes into the actual preparedness of these high-rise buildings. So in the event that anything do happen, especially with the sprinkler system, we found them to be very effective in these areas. So far in my career, we've only had one that I've seen that actually happened, and with the sprinkler system being in place was a great help because it actually knocked the room down. That by the time we got there, the fire itself was out. So it's good to have these and enforce these mechanisms when going into new buildings. So that itself, as far as the high rise, I mean, over the years, like I said, we've seen them going from 3 stories, 5 stories, now we're going up to 10 floors. So mechanisms will be in place as we progress with that, as far as equipment-wise as well and manpower.
Okay. Now we know that this has been a particularly busy year for all first responding agencies in the Cayman Islands, including the Cayman Islands Fire Service. We also know that lots of hard work for you to celebrate as a team as well. Can you give us some of the takeoffs and some of the things that stand out for the year 2000 as far as the Cayman Islands Fire Service is concerned? Okay.
Well, some of the good stuff that has gone on so far for this year is our recruitment process that is still ongoing. We've just turned out 21 new recruits in the early part of this year, and we've celebrated those with with joining the service, welcoming them well, and they've been a part of a program called the IFE, Institute of Fire Engineering Program. And so far, on October 12th, I think 21 of them actually did an exam, so we're waiting to get the results of that so far. But in all, I think the restructuring of the department has been going great. We're seeing getting a lot more feedback from, especially our sister islands, that we've never had so much of a close connection with them as being as one. And now we're promoting that a lot as far as our SMT meetings and stuff, going overseas, involving them, having their inputs, Little Cayman Brac and everything, trying to just make the whole department cohesive as one unit, one voice. And that's what we've been shooting towards, changing the culture on the whole in the Cayman Islands Fire Service.
And I think you've recently been featured in International Firefighter magazine as well. Tell us about that. You featured in that magazine?
Yeah, I can speak to that. That I must say, it was a significant achievement for us as the Cayman Islands Fire Service to be actually put on the international platform and sold to the international market as to what our capabilities are and our aspirations for the service within the next few years. It's at that stage as well. I mentioned in terms of our ambition of actually building a state-of-the-art training facility right here in Grand Cayman to be able to offer international training to other fire departments within the region. That's something we're looking forward to. That's something we're working on in collaboration with the Civil Aviation Authority, to identify the property and to progress that in early 2021. Outside of that, like you say, it was a first and great opportunity for us, and I think that has helped put us on the market and make people aware of what we as a fire department in Cayman Islands is capable of.
Okay, and can you describe the dynamics now that you have in the fire service, working as a team, and the leadership team that you have in place now as well? Ms. Tina?
Yes, sir. Good morning again. Speak to the dynamics of the fire service. I mean, it's split up into 3 sections. Hence the reason for having 3 deputies. For aviation, it's Deputy Chief Fire Officer Brawan Elliott, and he deals with all international regulators, and he oversees the operations of the airport to make sure that they meet international regulations. There's the domestic section, which is headed by Deputy Chief Fire Officer Roy Charlton. That responds to structure fires, motor vehicle accidents, medical calls, and water search and rescue, and a host of other incidents that they may be called on. And for me, I am head of the administration section, which entails HR, oversight of the finance section, fleet and maintenance for buildings, and the training section, fire prevention and safety. And overall, we've just started a rotation process, so we would have oversight of other section, which was implemented by Chief Fire Officer Paul Walker. So we have a better understanding and better working relationship. I've begun maybe a little over a month now overseeing the operations and getting into the regulations for the aviation section. And Mr. Elliott is overseeing the domestic section and their operations. And Mr. Charlton, he is overseeing the administration section currently. So we work as a team, hand in hand, so we learn each other's roles and responsibilities.
Okay. Okay, one of our listeners wanted to say, can you ask the officers if they are aware that government is presenting amendments to the development and planning regulations to remove the requirement for sprinkler systems